EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Kicker Will Reichard has the ball on the tee, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it, and sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Burrow to throw right away. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. They snap that at 1. Now it's Burrow. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
Well, he's one of the top receivers in the game, Charles, so no surprise here on the opening drive. They want to get him involved, and he has catches on back-to-back plays.
And, Brandon, I look at it from the defense's perspective. You know he's one of the top receivers in the game. You've got to find ways to slow him down because if he gets into high gear, he's going to shred you all game long.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on to punt for the Bengals. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them.
Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man from the University of Michigan.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, You might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Throwing is McCarthy. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Now McCarthy.
Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive.
The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They go play action with Burrow. This will be caught by Brown. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 3.
In motion, the tight end. Again, it's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now Burrow.
Open man is Yoshivas.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Here's 2nd and 3.
And Burrow going to throw again. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Burrow now off the bootleg. And he is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Brown. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
3rd and goal. Burrow escaping the pressure right. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Evan McPherson for the extra point.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was Joe Burrow who took it himself for the touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
To the air with McCarthy. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. first catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Here's McCarthy. There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. From 19 yards away. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was T.J. Hawkinson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Cincinnati set to take over once again. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Now a short one to Gesicki. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. This is Brown going up the middle. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2nd and 11. Burrow looking to pass. This one complete to Yoshivas. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now it's Burrow. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. In motion goes the tight end.
To the air again, Burrow. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Burrow will throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
Andre Yoshivas
From 8 yards out.
and the Bengals will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. He's got the connection to Moore.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Second down and 3.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Charlie Jones now from his end zone. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
That pass complete to Moore. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, now McCarthy. This one swung out here to Jones. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
3rd and 3. McCarthy off the play fake. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway. And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
To the right goes Mason. Nice and strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Again, it's Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Throwing is McCarthy. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. McCarthy operating from the gun. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On the move, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. What a rough time for a turnover there. They give it away on their first possession of this second half.
And what makes it worse, Brandon, is that they've already given away the lead in this quarter on the touchdown drive a minute ago. Now they run the risk of really falling behind unless their defense can bail them out a little bit. They'll be cheering for them hard from the sidelines.
And now out comes Minnesota. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, McCarthy. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Here's a give to Jones running left. A strong running. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
10 more there and another 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. To the air with McCarthy. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Rondale Moore, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have, because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around. They're reading coverages early, so now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. And the tight end goes in motion left. Here's Burrow. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Open man is Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Now, Bengals on third down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From midfield now, Burrow.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Now a first down carry by Jones.
Down at the 25.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll go again to Jones. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On play action, McCarthy.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's McCarthy.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
T.J. Hawkinson.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Vikings are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bengals offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Now it's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
Now Burrow. This will be caught by Brown. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throw left side complete to Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he gets this down to the 13-yard line.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. To the air again, Burrow.
Gesicki hauling in the quick throw.
And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
That is caught. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They try and run forward here with Brown. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Burrow looking to pass. Touchdown, Bengals!
Mike Gesicki taking it in. And the Bengals have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A 10-play drive that time.
And it all concluded with a touchdown pass to the tight end, Mike Gesicki.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Up the middle, Jones. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. Second and 11 now. An inside give to Jones. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.